Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of So Many Words. For those of you who are joining in for the first time, So Many Words is a series wherein we pick up an interesting topic related either to money or career and have a free-willing discussion with diverse set of panel members with a hope that their diverse opinions will help us think better and make better decisions in life. This is Pinkesh Dimar. I lead brand marketing at CoinSwitch and I'm your host. Today, I'm back yet again with a new topic. Is switching career path worth the risk? I'm sure those of you who are contemplating to move to a new career path without having any prior experience or any prior education in the same field must be wondering what to do and what not to do. So, this episode is going to be very relevant for you. So, stay tuned. I have got an amazing panel. Let me get started with introducing each one of them to you. We have Atul. Atul is a senior director and head of payments at CoinSwitch. Atul actually studied hotel management, but when he tasted the tadka of finance, the perspective changed. He actually ended up pursuing a career in finance, and he ended up working with some of the biggest brands in the country. Next, we have Shubham Hooda. I'm sure many of you already know Hooda because he is a very popular face in the crypto community in the country. Hooda is part of our CEO's team, and he takes care of initiatives on the business side. Hooda is pretty unconventional in his approach. I just want to share one anecdote. Uh, like in every office, we also had an OKR meeting, and we were just discussing individually at a micro level what are the numbers that we are going to try and achieve. I happened to ask Hudda out of out of nowhere. It popped up in my head that let me ask Hudda what is he planning. And when I asked him, Hudda, what is your goal? With a straight face, he gave me an answer: to increase the adoption of Bitcoin in the world. That is the kind of dedication, love he brings to the world of crypto. Last but not the least, we have Mono. He's the editor and he's part of the brand team. He's also one of the most amazing guy in the brand team. Not just because of the kind of cool work that he does, but also because of the kind of cool attitude that he carries. So all the favorite team members are here with me today, and this is the end of my monologue. Let me get started with our today's topic: is switching career path worth the risk? Right. So all of you, starting with Atul, if you could tell me what has been your journey like, what did you study, what career options you tried, and how did you ended up pursuing what you actually ended up pursuing?
Pinkesh, thanks for the introduction. The straight answer to the question is switching career path worth the risk is yeah, if it works for you, if you get some sort of success, yes, it is. Otherwise, not. Right? There are many people who switched career paths and they're, and it's been risky for them. But for me, thankfully, with God's grace, it's been, very, very fruitful, I must say. So yeah, I chose hotel management as a career not because I had an interest in it, but that was the only entrance I could clear, and I wanted to move out of my house, right? So, so that's the reason I chose hotel management. The aspiration at that point of time was not becoming a chef, but to move out of my house and stay in a hostel, right? So that was the only aspiration. I spent there 3 years, got into hotels, then realized, probably this is not what I want. Correct. And why I realized it, because hotels pay you very less, right? And money was my aspiration, at least during the beginning of the career. And what stuck with me was when I was in hostel, right? I used to take about 6,500 rupees from my parents for monthly spend, right? And when I was getting paid now, I was getting paid 5,500 rupees. And now I couldn't even ask my father that give me more, right? I was earning now.
Right.
So so that's the reason I was like कि ये तो नहीं करना है भाई. And
Great.
then moved into call centers for a year. It was a call center period. Worked with Dell for about 6 months. Then moved into American Express again. Joined their call center. That is where my career changed, right? I liked interacting to people on calls. One of my supervisors told me that you are someone who get repeat callers. People used to say that we want to speak with Atul
Wow.
to get certain things resolved, right? So
Yeah.
repeat customer rate was high. So this supervisor was the one who told me that, have you ever tried sales or relationship management?
Yeah.
And I said no. And he said, do you want to try that? So I said okay. I mean, I got into that. I did sales for about good 10 to 12 years in American Express. Spent 14 years in American Express. And what shaped me as a salesman is my career at American Express. What Amex gave me was confidence of speaking to CXOs, right?
Right. Right.
I can pick up the phone and call any of the CXOs that you want me to. I don't have a hitch in that, right?
Super.
And from there on, journey has been good. Now from sales of cards, then I realized payments somewhere is my forte. Joined MobiQuick, headed their payment gateway banking alliances for about 2.5 years. Then here in CoinSwitch since past 1.5 years. So the
Super.
journey has been very, very good and very, very fruitful, both in terms of learning, money, right, and
Great.
experience, rich experience. So
Great.
earn, learn,
Very,
and grow.
yeah, very interesting. So getting out of the house was the first push.
Yeah.
You got great mentors. Money was the motivator, and you kept trying. Superb. Superb. Huda, what's your story?
Yeah, again, thanks Mikesh for the introduction. I think whatever we are doing at CoinSwitch, brand team plays a big role, and I have listened. आप लोग की बहुत तारीफ सुनने को मिलती है मुझे बाहर. तो just wanted to put you out here on this platform. Monu is also from brand, so I
Thanks.
thought it would be a good place. So my journey is again I am myself surprised sometimes, to be honest, that what am I, where I have come. When I started off, मैंने कंप्यूटर साइंस से इंजीनियरिंग किया. 2016 आई ग्रेजुएटेड. आफ्टर दैट यूजुअली मैंने कंप्यूटर साइंस ब्रांच इसीलिए लिया, घर मतलब घर वालों ने ही बोला था ऑब्वियसली लेने को. एंड कंप्यूटर साइंस इज समथिंग वेयर यू कैन गेट इजी जॉब्स एटलीस्ट in Bangalore and other cities, right? But when I sat for my placements, I chose Futures First. Futures First is a company where आपको अगर आप क्विक मैथ्स कर सकते हो तो वो आपको ट्रेडर बना देते हैं सीधा. Like
Hmm.
they put you in front of the screen and you are being asked to trade hundreds of thousands of dollars with a single click. So coming from a traditional family, a traditional middle class family, money was a very foreign concept for me. Given कि मुझे pocket money भी नहीं मिलती थी. Like I heard from Atul, right, कि asking money from dad was a challenge for me. Asking money was out of the question. Like I was whatever I needed, I had to tell them कि okay I need this, and then they used to buy. So this was
Correct.
what was how I was raised at least. Uh, so when I came into Futures First and saw कि यार अच्छा, this is how money markets work, this is how from a single click I can buy and sell, I realized okay, if you have to make money in your life, you have to learn this skill. So at that time I kind of this was a preconceived, I would say by luck, that I decided this कि यार मुझे लाइफ में अगर रिटायर होना है तो एज अ ट्रेडर होना है. मतलब I want to retire as a trader. So I don't have a goal per se in my life कि यार इतने amount पे I will retire. It's rather कि once I have hit a consistency in my trading strategy, I will be retiring. Like that's my personal goal. बट फ्यूचर्स फर्स्ट में ये सब रियलाइज करने के बाद करते करते मैंने यूएस शिफ्ट में काम किया था 7-8 महीने. एंड दैट एक्चुअली टुक अ हिट ऑन माय पर्सनल लाइफ. मेरा
Hmm.
ब्रेकअप हो गया एंड मेरे दोस्त चले गए कहीं ना कहीं. ऑल ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स वर समवन इन बैंगलोर, समवन इन गुड़गांव, एंड आई वाज इन जयपुर डूइंग अ 3 to 2 जॉब. आई थिंक अतुल ने भी किया होगा आई गेस यूएस शिफ्ट, so he might relate on
Graveyard
this.
shift.
Yeah, graveyard shift. No one is there when you are off. When you are sleeping, everyone is doing something. So even on the weekends, it's very difficult. So I left that, and so again, luckily, some of my friends were in filmmaking. वो filmmaking में involved थे. I think मोनू की story से filmmaking का भी पूरा case आएगा. So they said कि यार हम तो college छोड़ के भाई movies बनाएंगे और हमें एक advertising company खोलनी है. As in कि हम लोगों के video ads बनाना चालू करेंगे. Right, that was not a time of AI. आज तो सब AI से video ads बनाना चाह रहे हैं, but that time it was like proper shooting, scripting, and everything was done. So I kind of joined them. We joined a production. We opened a production house in Jaipur. We started shooting ads, but Jaipur is a small city for doing this kind of a business. We had to go to Mumbai, but in Jaipur only, at least I realized कि यार ठीक है. even though I am now turning from a, like I wouldn't say कि मैं इसको समझ पाया, but ऐसा लगता है कि एक कैपिटलिस्टिक एनवायरनमेंट से मैं एक काइंड ऑफ, you know, I went to an environment where filmmaking is everything. So it's probably somewhere where money is not the main thing. It's more about your satisfaction, you know, your passion. Um, so this career path जो मैंने switch किया पहली बार, that was not worth the risk, I would say. मतलब now I am
Mm.
in a situation where I can go back and connect the dots probably,
Yeah.
but at that time that shift was, you know, that hindered my growth, because I graduated from NIT Jaipur, right? That was not
Mm.
a bad college. That has a decent name. But once you take this kind of a break in within 1 year, the next company that was, you know, I was giving interview in later on, they kind of rejected my idea of me being a software developer again. They wanted me to start from, you know, proper scratch. Like जो मुझे प्लेसमेंट में मिल रहा था उसका हाफ भी नहीं दे रहा था मुझे कोई, जब मैं
Mm.
वापस कंप्यूटर साइंस में जब मैंने एक्सप्लोर किया करना. So that was
Mm.
a tough time for me. So what worked for me was that I had very good emotional support with from my friends. My
Mm.
family was obviously kind of disappointed कि यार एक ही अच्छा लड़का था फैमिली में, वो भी अब पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है. But my friends kept on supporting me कि नहीं यार तू कुछ ना
Nice.
कुछ करता रहे. So I joined a coaching center. मैंने मैथ्स पढ़ाना चालू कर दिया. I started teaching maths part time and I was good at maths. So they also recognized me, increased my salary, but that was a part time job. ठीक है. सो व्हाट वर्क फॉर मी अगेन वाज कि यार मुझे किसी ने रिकमेंड किया कि भाई तू थोड़ा, यू नो, आइसोलेशन में जा, पेरेंट्स के घर पे रह रहा है अभी, थोड़ा तेरा माइंडसेट शायद वर्क नहीं कर रहा होगा. तो मैंने 10 दिन का एक मेडिटेशन कोर्स किया. विपश्यना बहुत लोग करते हैं आजकल. तो 2017 में इतना पॉपुलर नहीं था. आई वेंट देयर 10 डेज का जो रिट्रीट था, उसके बाद आई रियलाइज कि यार जॉब तो लेनी है मुझे, कोई भी जॉब मिल जाए. एंड मतलब पता नहीं मुझे सेल्स की जॉब मिली. फिर पहली जो मुझे यू नो जॉब ऑफर आया बायजूस से आया. उस टाइम पे बायजूस वाज अ वेरी बहुत अच्छे अच्छे पैकेजेस दे रही थी वो बैक इन 18. ठीक है, 2018 की बात है. मैंने वो ज्वाइन किया, बट 3 महीने के अंदर बायजूस में जाके मुझे लगा यार कि आई एम नॉट, यू नो, मतलब आई एम नॉट गोइंग जस्ट
Right fit.
डूइंग
Yeah.
पोटेंशियल, राइट? कि यार ये तो मैं कुछ बेटर कर सकता हूँ शायद. बायजूस
Mm.
में मजा नहीं आ रहा है इतना जितना प्रेशर चलता है बायजूस में. आई थिंक एवरीवन इज अवेयर बायजूस का एनवायरनमेंट कैसा था उस टाइम पे. सो आई लेफ्ट दैट ऑल्सो एंड अगेन वॉज इन लाइक द लोएस्ट फेज इन माई लाइफ. आई डेंट नो वॉट टू डू. अगेन आई डिसाइडेड टू बिकम a maths teacher. So I went to Seeker. Seeker is a place near Kota. ठीक, मतलब सेकंड कोटा बोलते हैं उसको राजस्थान में, जहाँ पे आप जाके अपना पूरा यू नो टीचिंग करियर चालू कर सकते हो. But luckily, the same day I was supposed to join as a coaching teacher in Seeker. I was starting my career again 3 years after my college. ठीक है, तो ऑलरेडी मैं काफ़ी कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटीज काइंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा है इसकी. The same day I got a call from Bangalore कि यार nobroker.com is hiring and I got selected also. Actually एक राउंड मेरा पहले ही हो गया था. So the day I went to Seeker, I just returned the next day. 2 दिन बाद बैंगलोर की फ्लाइट कराई and I just came to Bangalore. So this is my story of how I landed in corporate. I think आगे का थोड़ा बहुत anecdotes मैं बाद में देता हूँ.
Great, Huda. For a moment, I was feeling that I'm actually watching a movie because you kept jumping from one place to another, one field to another. Yeah, pretty interesting.
And
Pretty
and with
interesting.
every career move, every career shift, he became a maths teacher.
In between maths teaching था. Correct.
Maths
Yeah,
is the only constant.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think even Peacock will say Shubham has a more colorful life than I have.
Yeah.
Great. Monu, what's your story, man?
So before like beginning the story, if you ask me the question like switching career, what the risk like?
Yeah.
So if I'm here on this call, it is because I switched the careers. So ठीक है, यहाँ तक तो पहुंच ही गए, आगे का देख लेंगे. So I think my career, I would say like when I was in school, I tried multiple things. I was this very curious kid, and I wanted to try everything which I could do. And but I was getting bored. Like whatever I was picking, I'm like, ये तो मजा नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ और करते हैं. But finally, I found photography, and I liked it. और मैं कभी बोर नहीं हो रहा था उससे. Like I was behind the camera, and I was feeling complete. But I was being in a small city, you don't see the professional side of it. It's like, will this make me money? You are doubtful. So पता नहीं था. I was good in studies. सब एक दूसरे को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, क्या करना है, साइंस पढ़ते हैं, इंजीनियरिंग करते हैं. सो आई ऑल्सो डिड द सेम, गॉट इनटू एन एनआईटी. पढ़ते पढ़ते धीरे धीरे आई फाउंड सम पीपल हु वर आल्सो सिमिलरली इंटरेस्टेड इन फोटोग्राफी, फिल्म मेकिंग. एंड देन आई रियलाइज्ड, ओके, आई कैन मेक अ करियर आउट ऑफ दिस if I try. So gradually, one year after the other, in 4 years of engineering, I did filmmaking. And
Yeah.
I realized, okay, कर सकते हैं, कोई नहीं. But when it comes to placement in an engineering college, you don't get many media companies. So I got uh, a job as a business analyst in EXL, by the way. I was in Noida at that time. And after like 6 months of that job, I realized कि okay, I'm done, और नहीं करना है. 6 महीने कर लिए, पेरेंट्स को लगेगा 4 साल की जो फीस दी थी कॉलेज में, जॉब मिल गया इसको, तो मतलब पढ़ रहा था.
Monu, this
तो
is a sort of a deja vu. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you here.
हाँ,
Reminds me of the scene in Three Idiots, Madhavan. Yeah, how did you have any impact of Madhavan's character on you? Abba nahi manenge. Did you face that situation in your life?
अब्बा तो अभी भी नहीं मानते, बट ही इज ओके सिंस आई एम नॉट आस्किंग फॉर मनी फ्रॉम हिम. So he still don't understand completely what I do, but as a father he supports me. He's like, after so many years he realizes कि अच्छा कुछ तो कर रहा होगा, तभी तो मतलब जी रहा है, पैसे तो मैं दे नहीं रहा हूँ. So he's okay with this. So after getting a like technical job, I realized कि if I want to fully like move into a media company or I want to pursue my dream of filmmaking, I need to switch quickly, because क्या होता है, आप comfortable हो जाते हो बहुत ज्यादा. After a point you are used to getting salary, the lifestyle and all. So I'm like, अभी तो कॉलेज से आया हूँ, अभी तो हॉस्टल रूम में रहता था, अभी ज्यादा शौक कुछ हुए नहीं है, अभी स्विच कर सकते हैं. तो इन
Right.
6 months I'm like, I'm done, मैं निकलता हूँ. My senior manager was like, नहीं, you should give it 1 year. If nothing pans out, you can come back. You at least should have 1 year of experience. And I was like, हाँ, बट मुझे वापस आना ही नहीं है. आई मैंने तो रेजिग्नेशन, क्या होता है उसके बाद आप रिजाइन करते हो, यू गेट अ एक्सपीरियंस लेटर.
Yeah.
मैंने वो भी नहीं लिया. आई एम लाइक, आई डोंट वांट टू कम बैक, मुझे जाना ही नहीं है, मैं रास्ता वो काटता जा रहा हूँ जिधर से आ रहा हूँ.
You
सो
burn the bridge.
no point of going back. So after that, a really bad thing happened was COVID came just after when I left my job. So there were like no jobs, no hiring. People could not get out of their house. It was a
Yeah.
bad time. Around a stretch of around 4 to 6 months, I did nothing. और क्या होता है, आप क्वेश्चन करने लगते हो when you are. I'm not just switching jobs. I was switching career. तो
Hmm.
मुझे पता नहीं if someone is okay paying me for a thing which I know I can do, but
Yeah.
there's no proof. So it
Yeah.
was hard for me at that time. But after 6 months, I luckily got a job in a studio. I worked there for hour 1 year and a half almost, and then I started doing freelancing. Now I was my own boss.
Hmm.
So it was a different phase because I have to manage myself. If you're not self-disciplined, you should not be a freelancer.
Yeah.
But after that, what happened one day out of the blue, one friend of mine called me and was like, there is an opening in the coin search, would you like to give an interview for? I'm like, okay, dekh leta hu. Since I'm working as a freelancer, I don't know what's my worth. I need to know, like, the question, like, worth the risk. I'm like, how much I worth, I don't know. So I gave that interview, everything was nice. You were also one of the interviewers, Mangesh.
I
And
remember.
so yeah, that's how I landed here.
Great, superb. So, from all three of the stories that I just heard, one thing is very clear that the whole transition has been filled with a lot of uncertainties. At every juncture, you had doubts, you had questions, and you did not have anybody to hold your hand throughout, right? So, Atul, I want to ask you this question to you. Uh, did you feel that imposter syndrome, especially when you did not have any prior experience in that field, or you did not have the educational background also? How did you manage your confidence levels then?
So, I would give the credit to the organization that I was in, right? So they really encourage people with competencies, right? So this could sound a very philosophical answer, but I did not have any knowledge of sales, and I showed interest that I want to get into sales. So I used to accompany the current sales guys when they went to meet the CFO. So I started learning what questions does a CFO or a CEO or a CBO asks, right? And
Correct.
what are the answers these people give. So from there, I started making my mental notes. Then I one day told my boss that, I want to do a sales meeting on my own. So some were successful, some were not successful, and though I did not face that imposter syndrome at all. But then, but yes, there are all kinds of people, right? Uh,
Yeah.
there are some people who would judge you that you don't have that educational background. Everyone in sales is mostly an MBA. I'm still not an MBA,
Correct.
so वो होता था. But otherwise, I don't think I've ever faced a challenge, and I've loved the job that I have been doing. I mean, where else you get to meet three different kind of people in one day,
Yeah.
Correct.
right? So that worked
Yeah.
for me.
Great, great. Mono, you are in the creative field, and I'm sure you must be having very tough bosses out there. So,
Yeah.
taking feedback from them, yeah, hearing different 10 different perspectives from individuals who actually do not have any mastery in your field. Did imposter syndrome, did confidence levels shake in
Hmm.
between ever? How did you manage it if it did happen?
Ac-
I would say, Pinkesh, it's a progress, it's a learning you go through in any career path you choose, to deal with people, to deal with other bosses. But as you are asking specifically, like since I'm being from a creative field and my boss is maybe a business administration person or someone like that, but I feel like every person has a perspective. Like, ठीक है, मैं एक वीडियो बना रहा हूँ, I have a perspective, I have a vision, but it's not like I'm the only creative person in this world. और अगर कोई कुछ बोल रहा है तो कुछ सोच के ही बोल रहा होगा. So when someone gives me feedback, I think over it and I try to like reason कि why do you think so. If their reason still holds legit, and so ठीक है, कर देंगे change, feedback ले लेंगे, but they need to make sense and logic because I am also an engineer,
Correct,
तो
correct.
creativity के बाद थोड़ा logic भी चाहिए.
Yeah. Huda, NIT pass out, switch 4 5 careers. I'm sure when you must be revisiting your friends from NIT,
Yeah.
they must be at a different juncture in their career, different
Yeah.
juncture in life. Probably they would have already made their first big purchases in their lives.
Yeah.
Uh, and it is very natural for comparison to seep into our heads.
Mm.
How am I doing versus how are my batchmates doing, right? Does that comparison trouble you any point in time? If yes, why? If no, why not?
Yeah, definitely, Pinkesh. I think very, very like valid question. So after I came to Bangalore, right, I'll just quickly fill in. No broker में 2 ढाई साल काम करने के बाद I again switched. No broker was a very great company. They gave me insane incentive to actually do better there, and I realized कि okay, I'm not bad at this job also. Like I can do well, and I thought, why not start up on my own? I left No Broker for an incubator called Entrepreneur First, joinef.com, where they, ask for individuals to come and, join as founders. And probably if they are able to find other co-founder, then, create an app and they will fund it. So I left No Broker for that, which was again something which conventionally you do not do. So
Yeah,
when I do these things, right, obviously when my college mates are buying a big car, a big house, or even getting married, these things do come in my mind. And honestly, when I had the choice of leaving No Broker, I had this choice from my parents also. My As I told you, my breakup happened in like 17, 18. So I was single back then. My parents told me, yeah, okay, get married. And I got a proposal from a very beautiful girl, and I had a choice either to get married to her or leave the job and pursue startup. So I chose the later. It was a very hard call for me, honestly. बीच बीच में मुझे लगा कि नहीं यार, I should settle down. But if I had settled down, I feel then I would have been on the uh, same page where I would have felt more envious about my friends doing these things. But
yeah,
since I chose the later, I think थोड़ा सा mind shift में change आया. मतलब I know what I'm doing and why I am not at that place right now, right?
mm,
स्टार्टअप करने के बाद मतलब इवन तो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ है, आई कुडंट एक्चुअली फॉर्म अ कंपनी, बट मेरा नेटवर्किंग काफ़ी अच्छा हुआ, बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप
mm,
फाउंडर से मेरी अच्छी बनती है. देर
mm,
आर सम NFT वॉलेट makers who are really doing well. The group close to, I think, raised more than $10 million. I
wow,
realized, okay, this is not something which ordinary people cannot do. So I can also probably go ahead and do that. Then
yeah,
I applied for CoinSwitch, CoinDCX, and coin base, and I knew I want to go to a crypto company. I know crypto well. 2017 से अब तक मतलब मैं crypto तो constant trading कर ही रहा था meanwhile, apart from maths, right? So I am here. I know that my friends might be doing a lot better. My NIT friends जो computer science के अभी भी they are engineering managers somewhere. They are earning in crores also, some people. So
wow,
comparison can always be done, right? I can always look at them and see what they are doing, but my end goal is different, my end game is different. I do not want to continue doing whatever I'm doing right now. I again want to kind of switch and become a full-time trader. I had given myself 10 years.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ajinkya. I had given myself 10 years, and there is still 2, 3 years remaining. So yeah, I don't get too hard on myself, even though I do feel sometimes कि, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I could have done that.
Shubham, an
लड़की का क्या हुआ
important question.
लड़की का क्या हुआ, शादी उसकी हो गई?
अब फिर तो हमने ब्लॉक किया एक दूसरे को, क्यों देखना है फिर?
अरे तू उसको अभी अपना क्रिप्टो बैलेंस दिखा ना, फिर देख कैसे गेम चेंज होता है.
बट अभी मतलब क्लोज कर दिया चैप्टर, हो गई उसकी शादी, आई थिंक सो.
Mono, how about you? What happens when you meet your folks from
Um,
NIT?
So if you think about comparison, Pinkesh, it now what's the metric? Like आप compare किस basis पे कर रहे हो, और क्या वो पैसा देख रहे हो, satisfaction देख रहे हो, happiness देख रहे हो? In terms of money, yeah, I मतलब most of my friends may be earning 2x, 3x what I am, but money should not be a factor because it's not the end goal. It's a means to get something, to go somewhere, maybe to buy something. Now, what things I want, if I can buy with the money I have, I think there's no need to compare. Also, people say this, but life is not a competition. It's not a race. Like if you
Yeah.
imagine a line, a flat line, and there is no third axis, like people are walking behind each other. So सबको आगे जाना है. It doesn't matter कौन आपके आगे कौन आपके पीछे, as long as everyone is moving forward, it's a win-win. Everyone is winning. So I
Yeah.
feel होंगे कुछ लोग मुझसे आगे, मेरे पीछे भी कुछ लोग होंगे. As long as we are going forward, it's a good thing.
Very nice, very nice. Atul, just a little curious, and the reason why I'm coming to you for my next question is, every 5 years, every 10 years, we completely change from who we were to who we are now. Our aspirations change. The kind of matrix that we follow in order to determine how successful we are, how happy we are, those also change. So, how did you how did you actually put your finger on one particular field and became so sure that you ended up pursuing it for such a long time? Because if things are changing every 5 years, it's very difficult to set your foot on something which is very particular and long lasting.
यार देखो सिंपल इक्वेशन है, अर्न लर्न एंड ग्रो, right? So in the beginning of my career, I realized that I'm learning a lot, growing older and earning nothing. So that's the reason I thought, अर्निंग पे थोड़ा कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना चाहिए, लर्निंग साथ साथ में होती रहेगी.
Yeah.
So that's what, my first thing was, I want to earn more, at least more than my peer group in hotels. I was One thing that worked for me was I took the decision very, very soon in my career to switch it, right?
Mm.
Um while my batchmates told me that, okay, why don't you try hotels for a couple of years and see where you will be? So my point was, yeah, even if I am a GM of a five-star hotel, I will still be on my toes. And that
Yes.
is not going to happen in less than 15 years, right? So if I want to make a career choice, it's now is the time. I don't want to start from scratch after 2 years, because I know कि ये तो नहीं होने वाला है जो चल रहा है,
Mm.
राइट? खाना बनाऊंगा तो किसी का पेट खराब होगा पक्का, राइट? कपड़े वपड़े धुलेंगे नहीं, चादर वादर मैं साफ नहीं कर सकता. तो वैसा है, मतलब अभी खाना सिर्फ घर पे बीवी बनवा लेती है, बट देन माय बेसिक गोल वाज earning money for the first 5 years. Then, a kind of thing came, right? I have to build a career out of this, right?
Yeah.
उसके लिए स्किल acquire करना है, कुछ basic traits acquire करने हैं. Now, Shubham Hooda works with me very closely, and if I tell this, he will not believe it. I am basically a very introvert person. None of the people in office will believe that. But me being extrovert is an acquired trait, because you cannot get successful in sales if you're not an extrovert. But as a person, I am myself only with a certain set of people, but I am totally different when I'm in front of a client or a partner. I am totally different, right? So then came building career, right? What is required to build career? Then usme, various positions that you hold, all of that became the priority. Then learning new things, became a priority. I had no knowledge of payments when I moved from cards to MobiQuick. I learned a lot of payments in 2 years, and that is what is paying me off here at CoinSwitch. Then
Right.
learning, partnerships, crypto partnerships, right? I still have a lot of questions that I go to Shubham for, right?
Yes.
Mm.
So learning is a constant process. So I think that equation of earn, learn, and grow is the key.
Right. Right.
I would
Great.
like to add something to Atul. What Atul said, like very early, he was sure कि पैसा भी चाहिए. It's like so in
हाँ.
media, what happens is like पैसे कम है, but अभी हम आपको exposure दे रहे हैं. Atul is like exposure दीजिए, मुझे पैसे चाहिए.
Yeah, and Monu, I think that's very important. It's very important for you to know what exactly you are optimizing for in life, and then
Yes.
you are very well focused and single minded in your in your approach. Yeah, superb stuff. Sorry, I'm just going to break our flow a little because there is a question in our chat box on LinkedIn. Josna has asked the question: how to make a decision between a job that offers good work life balance but is the same role that you have been doing for years and you are itching to get out, versus one where role is aligned to your skills and desired profile but no work life balance. Question arising from current situation. First and foremost, Jyotsna, thanks a lot. This is a very valid question. Anybody out of the three folks on the call today can take a dig at this.
I
I
would
think
like
yeah.
you
Yeah.
to.
Mm. I
Super.
think Atul can be the best person to answer this. I feel.
So, Jyotsna, I think it will also depend on what juncture of your life in terms of age you are, what kind of liabilities do you have, right? If you're married, if you have kids, then I think family comes first, at least for me, right? If I am offered a job today which, does not have a work-life balance, I would rather not choose it. But it's easier for me to say that today when, I have 17 plus years of experience. But say if you're not married, and if you can spend some more time in office, right, and it adds to your career in terms of
Mm.
growth, both in terms of your career and money, I think uh, at that point of time you should not worry more about work life balance, because there's a lot in you that you can give at that point of time, rather than when you're in your 40s, where you actually need work life balance, right? Someone who's 30, 35 can do a lot more than someone who's 45, 50. So I think it really depends on what stage of life you are at. I mean, that's worked for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Superb.
I think I would just like to add on that. See, basically, if you know that that something is what you have desired for long, then it always makes sense to take the leap of faith and go there. As Atul said, agar if you the younger you are, you can actually work you can work hard and not care about what your friends are saying. Like 2 3 years later, you will be having a lot of responsibility because people who you work with will realize that you are actually accountable for whatever you're doing. So I think go for it. My answer would be, if you can afford from your family side, go for it.
So when I changed my job, right, my previous company where I worked for 14 years, it is known to offer fantastic work life balance, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic is the word,
Right,
right?
right.
Any day anyone can work there. But why I moved out of that company was because I started feeling that there's a lot that I can learn, there's a lot outside. वो एक चैलेंज मुझे आया था when I moved out, that will I be able to do it, right? Will I get the same work life balance? But the I what I decided was that this is not the time, right? I can spend
Yeah.
7 8 10 years working hard and come at a position where I can command or demand a work life balance.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Super, super. So I think we had a very interesting question. Thank you, Sam, who is actually handling everything backstage for popping this up. Uh, Guys, the next thing that I have in mind, Monu, you were talking about, following the passion and this and that.
Yeah.
But that brings to my mind another important saying: the best way to kill your passion is to make it a profession, right? So how true is it? This is for both Shubham as well as Monu.
Hmm.
And how do you actually strike a balance wherein you don't end up killing your passion?
The direct answer would be, Pinkesh, that what you choose. So I will give you an anecdote. I have a friend whose father, like when he was young, wanted to play guitar and wanted to be a guitarist, but he had a family and he had a good job. So he realized कि नहीं, इससे पैसे नहीं बनेंगे, और मैं अगर पैशन को फॉलो करूंगा तो इंटरेस्ट भी मर जाएगा. Like, so what he did a normal job, but he still plays guitar. He's happy
Hmm.
with it.
Yeah.
Now, whereas some other person might is like, नहीं मुझे गिटार ही बजाना था, I regret doing a job. So nothing is wrong. It's like it's up to you. Sometimes you can consciously decide कि okay, money is more important than what I like, and sometimes your passion burns so high that it becomes an obsession, and then you don't think clearly about profession. And
Right.
and passion की बात जहाँ तक है, even if you do a normal job, you can channel your passion and your expertise in a way that जो भी problem statement होगा उसको आप passionately solve कर लोगे. It's not necessary कि आपको वही करना है. So
Yeah.
it's a choice.
Got it. Got it. Shubham, what about you?
See, I think if you're really into something, right? If you're really, really passionate about it, then you should not care about any consequences. Like if something you're doing is meaningful, not expedient, like is actually meaningful to you, then it really doesn't matter, what the consequences are. We have seen around us, right? Like uh, I used to follow film industry very much. Everyone know Irfan Khan, Nawazuddin.
Yeah.
Those guys were actually passionate about what they were doing, and they had to struggle for years, decades, in fact, to be
Right.
where, like, Irfan sir is not anymore here, but Nawazuddin, those guys have become stars now after 20-25 years. And if you go ahead and ask them if it was worth it, they would say always. Like they did not care about what they are earning back then. So if you are really passionate about something, think about the end picture, right? Like where you want to be, how you want to lead your life. Money is obviously very, very important. So I'm not suggesting that just jump into it without caring about how to feed yourself. If you have responsibilities, you can never do that. You have to be careful about some earning opportunities. And we are living in a day where you can get a lot of part-time job opportunities also, right? It's not something which is very hard to get. If you want to work hard, you can get a part-time job somewhere and can still follow your passion, meanwhile earning some side income. That is a possibility. So I would say following your passion is not, I don't agree that following your passion is actually killing your income stream. You can actually manage both of them.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So, guys, hypothetically speaking, had you guys actually not switched careers, and if you had continued to do what you started off doing very initially, would you guys be really happy? If yes, why? If no, why not?
Atul, what do you think on
आई
this?
वुड डेफिनेटली नॉट बी हैप्पी यार. मैंने बोला ना, मैं खाना बना रहा था तो लोगों का पेट खराब हो रहा होता. तो आई वुड डेफिनेटली नॉट बी हैप्पी. मतलब करियर में कुछ डिलीवर नहीं कर रहा होता, पैसे मिल नहीं रही होते, मैं बैठ के अभी इस चैनल पे कमेंट करके तुम लोग से पूछ रहा होता कि भाई क्या करना है बता दो. so
Mm.
so I think I am I am happy where I am. I am happy that I made that choice. एंड जैसे पिंकेश ने लास्ट में बोला पैशन मेरा, मतलब आई रियलाइज इट नाउ. जो कंप्लेन स्कूल में आता था कि बातें बहुत करता है, अब मैं बातें
अब
ही कर
काम.
रहा हूँ, है ना. उसी से सब कुछ चल रहा है.
हाँ.
I think I can vouch for that. Matlab, as Atul said, work very closely with him, and I haven't seen a better negotiator than Atul. Like the way he talks is actually his main skill.
Oh, you haven't seen my daughter then.
Great, great. What about you, Monu?
I would also not be happy if I was doing like what I was doing. Primarily because I was very passionate. Like यही करना इसी में अच्छा लग रहा है. I was not happy. So I don't think like I would be happy doing what I was doing. And uh, after like so much time, in hindsight, everything makes sense. Like there were times where I was questioning that was it right, was it not. In hindsight, everything makes sense. So yeah, I'm happy right now. So no.
Right. Right. Any advice that you would like to give to your younger self? Now it's been a couple of years.
Mhm.
It's very easy to connect dots now. Earlier, it wasn't the case.
Yes,
So,
yes.
if you were given a choice to go back and say something to your younger self, what would you say?
I would say that don't be so anxious and worried because जब आप उस वक्त सिनेरियो में रहते हो, एक प्रॉब्लम में रहते हो, you cannot think out of it. आपको लगता है ये प्रॉब्लम अभी सॉल्व नहीं होगा, मैं क्या करूंगा क्या नहीं. I would say to my younger self that worry too much. Things will pan out. Sometimes the things are not in your control. Let the life decide things for you. So just थोड़ा सा relax. कभी कभी होता है कि you want to act on something कि मुझे कुछ change करने से ही कुछ होगा. Sometimes you need to relax also. Like life will act up for you. तो
Hmm.
I would say कि हाँ, ये कि ज्यादा anxiety नहीं होनी चाहिए. बाकी chill
Got
करो,
it.
चीजें हो जाएंगी.
Hmm. Atul?
I would still like to believe I am my younger self. So so the advice, see, I come from a tier two city, right? You don't have exposure. You don't have exposure to very unconventional careers, right? Even if today in my hometown you tell someone to become a YouTuber, they'll think twice,
Yeah.
or for that matter a photographer, they'll think twice. Now, when you compare that to my daughter, she loves photography, uh, so she has a camera. My son says that I want to be a YouTuber, right? If I had
Hmm.
told that to my parents at that point of time, मतलब तब तो YouTube था भी नहीं, but मतलब मेरी लग चुकी होती, तो तो वैसा है. But then I think one should take chances. End of the day you should not be sitting with the thought कि अरे वो कर लिया होता तो,
Hmm.
right? I think you should do it and see where it takes you.
Correct. So I think the bottom line is, how do you minimize regrets in life? Uh, that also becomes a very important part. Huda, what about you? What would you tell your younger self?
Um, I think I one thing that I would tell myself right now also, I would say the same thing. It's even though I'm at a better place now, I would probably say just have patience, believe in the process, and
Yeah.
don't just get ahead of yourself.
Hmm.
Got it. Got it.
I,
I
I Pinkesh, I just would like to. I'm This question is really, really itching me. I saw on Ajinkya actually asked one question, and
yeah.
I think I have a good suggestion for Ajinkya. Uh, so Ajinkya is basically saying that he started try to do two startups, but he couldn't succeed them unfortunately, and now work as an HR. Ajinkya, my suggestion to you would be either work as hard as you can in your current company. If that is not possible, then start applying to startups. People don't realize that there are some websites like Angel Co and Well Found over here, where you can apply in startups through LinkedIn also. And there are people who want to hire a operator, like a on ground person who will do anything for them. So don't give up. If you apply in 50 startups, you'll talk to 10 and you'll get hired in one. So just keep on applying to early age startups, seed, series A, and you will find something which is meant for you.
Superb. Superb. Thank you for picking that up, Shubham. With this, we have actually come to the end of our today's episode. I thoroughly enjoyed our discussion. For me, the key takeaway is, Bhaiya, life is very short. Most of our working days are spent on doing things that actually demand a lot of efforts and energy from us. Most of our weekdays, 70 to 80% of time is spent on doing our day jobs. And if we do not like it, we actually do not like our lives, right? So, with that, I would like to conclude that when you know that this is something that's not meant for you, you must go try different things out and minimize regrets in life. Thanks a lot, Atul, Shubham, and Monu,
Thank,
for a candid chat. uh, I
thanks.
truly enjoyed every bit of it. One of the best session that I have had so far. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks
Pinkesh.
everyone. Thanks Atul. Thanks
Yeah,
Shubham. It
sure.
was great.
Yeah, great.
Bye bye.
And all the listeners out there, if you have not started to follow us on LinkedIn, please go and press that follow button. I'll be back very soon with a new topic and a new set of panel members. Till then, you take care, guys, and keep rocking. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.